Welcome back to J&J Dynasty. We're going to be doing let's get rid of the thumbnail, late rookie ADP draft for July. Now this is going to be 3 additional drafts. It's going to bring the whole total ADP in the MFL leagues up to 21, I believe is what it is. Once again, above the little logo of J&J Dynasty. Any of the blocks that you see that are in color up there, the blue, the gold, the gray, the black, the red, the pink, those are drafts that I was actually involved in. I'm in those leagues. So the pink one is the first one of the new 3. So that's that. Once again, when I get to this into it, I'm explaining the bar up top. It's going to be player. It's going to be May, June, and July with the different colors. June is green, July is black, May is red or brown. However, it depends on what it looks like on your TV screen or your monitor or your personal device. So that's going to correspond to the blue number. So all those are going to add up to the ADP, and the last number is going to be the number of drafts there. But after the ADP to the right, it says May, June, and July in the corresponding colors. So you can actually go back and look at the colors for those. Once again, just as a reminder, please subscribe. Thank you, people who have subscribed in the past, and looking forward to doing more content here. Definitely, as a reminder, wanted to tell people that I'm probably going to be doing this again next year. This is the second year I'm doing this. It's helped me immensely in my drafts. Hopefully, it's helping you guys. All right. So what I was trying to say is so the May, June, and July correspond to the numbers on the other side, and you can actually take a look at each one of them as far as that goes, and see if guys are rising and falling. And I'm going to hopefully get into that a little bit here into this video, right? So, once again, Jordan Addison is going to be a big time key player and a feature in this particular draft for a very, very good reason here. All right. Let's see, like I want to describe new content coming up. That's what I want to say. There are 3 new leagues here. There are 2 leagues that are actually drafting, currently finishing up July. So I was contemplating whether I should be putting them on July or August. They started in July. I'm going to put them on July, which is going to make August small and July, massive, because there's going to be 3 more. There's already 11 drafts in July. Going to add 2 more, so look for another video popping out here in a couple days, and then it might be a little bit slower. So after that, but this is once again a very late July 2023 ADP value. So let's take a look at what's been happening here. Bijan, Gibbs, Smith and Jigba, Jordan Addison. Quentin Johnson. That's pretty much chalk. Charbonnet's was chalk for number 6 spot, but now that's kind of changing a little bit. He's catching back up into the cluster there with Anthony Richardson, Kincaid, Flowers, A-Chain. A-Chain's, I guess, the next tier down, and then A-Chain, Miller, and Bryce Young. So just taking a look at those numbers, weird things have been going on. The reason I put Jordan Addison on the thumbnail of this video is because of his little driving incident had him fall. He had a nice big dip there. If you look at towards the middle of August, he was 4 and 5 in every draft. No later than 5, he had his driving incident. 7, 4, 8, 9. If you look at correspondingly, the pink, I got him in a draft at 9. The latest I've seen him go was a very great gift. I was hoping to get Kendra Miller at 9. So it was one hell of a gift. And then people came back to their senses here recently and started drafting Jordan Addison at 4 and 5 again. So, but that shows you the whole ADP. One of the things I do like to look at also, and it shows a little bit more or a little bit better, I guess I would say, in the 2nd and 3rd rounds, guys that are moving up in the draft and down in the draft. So after the blue, you can see that Quentin Johnson was 5, 5.4, and 5.5 for May, June, and July. Well, that he's very steady, right? Addison himself, he was down at 4.4 in June, and he was below 5, well, I guess he wasn't below 5. He was right at 5, 4.5 until the incident happened, and now he popped up a point. So that's one of the things I like to look at. Also, things I like to look at as for like highs and lows. Look at Anthony Richardson. He's been as high as 2 all the way over in the first draft, and he's been as late as 14 there. So those are definitely things I like to look at. So let's continue on with the video here, though. Let's get into the second round to show people where everybody's at, right? So Sam Laporta is coming in at the number 13. Oh, and for you guys keeping score, that pink spot is a spot where that's my team. I just did this draft. I told you guys I'd be in it. I got Laporta at 14 or 13 there, so you can see that it's slightly off, slightly askew, I guess, from how I put it in there. The name's kind of swung over a little bit, but that number 13 is me. So I got Bijan at number 1. I got Addison at number 2. I got Laporta at 13. And then a little bit further down, I did a little bit of a reach. I grabbed Tank Bigsby at what was that? The 15. So a little bit of a reach there. But somebody else had just drafted him at 13. I didn't know if the moves were coming up. And in that draft, all the running backs were off the board. Tajay Spears came off at 2-2. So if I want to tank, I needed to take him. Then I had 2-8 and 2-9, and I wound up trading back. But so round 2, you're looking at Sam Laporta, Jonathan Mingo, Roschon Johnson, Tajay Spears, C.J. Sprout, Michael Mayer, Bigsby is holding steady, Marvin Mims, Rashee Rice, Chase Brown, Jalen Reed, and Josh Downs. Trying to think of a couple other people that have been really crazy here recently. What Young, well, I guess he was in the last board, but Young has been swinging wildly. Sam Laporta is solidly either 11, 12, or 13, and you can see that running across his board. Jonathan Mingo has been very steady. Roschon's been crazy. Just in July, he's been 9, 7, and all the way out to 23. So that's a wide variation. And like I said, in these boards, looking at differences as where they were at, right? Chase Brown and Jordan Reed, the very first draft, 16 and 19, and now they're going off at 24 and 25 on average. I just want to take 1 second to explain that a little bit. The far left one, that's number 1 through 24. That's for me to keep track of the rounds, keep track of which rookie is going off when, so which would be the next, is he the 17th or 22nd rookie? But the average draft position is actually where he's at, because in the MFL leagues, if somebody cuts somebody, Trey Lance was drafted in the first round. Or Jordan Love was drafted in the first round, was drafted in the second round, because in a couple leagues he was cut, or nobody picked him up at the end of the year. So he was a free agent, and so other guys have been out there like that also. So just because they're the 24th guy off the board and he's number 25 on ADP, that's why that's going to make it have some sort of difference on there. So just wanted to quickly explain that. And as you can see, it's 21 drafts all the way to the far right. All right, let's get on to the next board. So this is round 3. Luke Musgrave, Israel, and he's been dropping drastically in drafts here. You can see some 40s and some late 30s and stuff like that. I guess the next 2 drafts are going to really tell the tale. But with Dalvin Cook this weekend, saying that he was going to be signing with the Jets, right? So Friday he said that. So these were started July 28 and 29, these drafts. So Israel has slided away in a couple of these drafts. So we'll see if this corrects here. But so we got Luke Musgrave, Israel, Hyatt, Jalen Hyatt, Tillman, Zach Evans, Tank Dell. Dwayne McBride has been sliding away also. Sean Tucker, he slid bad in another draft, and I jumped up and grabbed him at 30, as you can see there. I also got McBride, but I kind of flipped those picks. I traded back into the 3rd round from 2-8. I wound up doing it twice. I picked up an extra 2nd round pick and an extra 3rd round pick in 25, because I already in that league I already have 4 or 5 2nd round picks along with my own first. And so I wanted Tank or Tucker, so I switched Tucker for McBride basically in the draft order, because I wanted to make sure I got him, because I was figuring I'd be fine with Izzy if I got him, that the other one. So At any rate, Michael Wilson, Schoonamaker, who by the way is hurt, has maybe a plantar fasciitis issue. So get yourself some Jake Ferguson. Puka Nuke has been flying up boards. One draft he inexplicably did not get drafted, and then Eric Gray's been mostly off boards ever since Saquon has signed. Right. All right, let's get on to the next phase here. Uh, so we've got Deuce Vaughn is coming in. He got drafted a couple times. There must have been some news I missed on him. Evan Hull has been having a bump this week because of the Jonathan Taylor Irsay feud about number one the contract and number two is back. Will Levis, a little bit of love again. Keishon Butte, Hendon Hooker, Deneric Prince, Kraft Washington, who's also got drafted a couple times here recently. The steam for Chris Rodriguez is all gone, as you can see there. A lot of 85s. Tyler Scott, Xavier Hutchinson, and Brenton Strange. So now we're in the back half of the video here, and I just want to explain once again. I put down every person who was drafted, put in a couple guys who weren't drafted, like Pearson Hall when were getting actually drafted. So I'd add their names. So the list I put it down basically in the order that they were drafted, and then from there the numbers speak for themselves. I sort it by the ADP. So if somebody gets drafted beyond number 85, because that's how many guys I was tracking, they got an 84, so that would bump them one up. So a couple instances, Pierce got drafted you see an 84 on A.T. Perry, I think it is. So he actually got drafted like in the 90s or the 100s, 8th, 9th, 10th round a couple times. So a couple of guys are 84s. Butte here on this one, actually, he got drafted 83rd. So he was one ahead of getting that designation of the 84. So if he would have had an 80, one spot later, he would also got 84 for getting drafted 84th or getting drafted at all. So 85 means you weren't drafted. So, all right. So let's get on to the last board. So these are the last few guys who actually are getting drafted, right? So, and so this would be your round 5. Stetson Bennett, I think he's hit the board one time. A lot of these guys are only one time. A couple of these guys have gotten some real late love a couple times. A.T. Perry, I think he's been drafted 4 times overall. So I think he's got 1 or 2 84s, 2 84s and a 63 in there. So, and yet he's still way at the bottom. Cameron Liu was a first-time participant in that, so he got off the 85 schneid. So he's 84.3. But that's your final board. Stetson Bennett, Charlie Jones, Clay Toon, Palmer, Kenny McIntosh has been actually drafted several times. So he's drafted maybe twice in the next 2 drafts, or at least once for sure. Shorter just got off to Schneid also, and A.T. Perry, Cameron Liu, and then you got Zach Kuntz, who's never been drafted, or any of these other guys, Jake Hainer. So that's kind of the video here today for J&J Dynasty. I hope that helps you out a little bit with your draft position. Use the knowledge to make sure that you move up in your draft to get your guy, and also make sure that you know the values of your guys. Once again, I mean, thank you everybody who has subscribed to the channel. Just as a heads up, take a look at some of the other videos that I've done if you want to see those numbers as they popped out. The videos aren't 1 for 1 per draft, so like this one was 3 drafts. But thank you for subscribing. Leave some comments below. Please, anybody who hasn't subscribed, subscribe, and take care. I guess that's what we have for this video. Like, click, subscribe. Hit the notification bell if you want to see these drafts as they're popping up. As I said, I'm going to be doing another one, probably dropping in 2 days, and then hopefully we'll be getting into the last couple 4 or 5 drafts for August. But this hopefully gives you a really good idea of the updated value of these guys. All right. Well, thank you very much once again. Take care, and we are out.